Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back. Today we're talking about concealers, not just any concealers. We're going to be talking about drugstore specific concealers. Just want to sit down with you guys and kind of tell you which concealers I believe to be worth your money at the drugstore, which are your best bang for your buck. I think I have 6, which I feel like is a good amount. Gives you a nice variation. I'm going to start with Holy Grail concealers that you probably will have already seen on my page and kind of work my way down. That's not to say that the ones that I leave for last are the worst concealers that I own. I just have my favorites and I want to recommend those first. But all the concealers I'm going to mention today are really good and definitely worth the money that you're going to spend on them. So if that is something you're interested in seeing, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, number 1 is going to be no surprise. You can probably guess what it is. Let me know if you did guess what it is. It is the NYX Bare With Me Concealer Serum. This is so good. It's a bit more on the pricier side for drugstore concealers, but I still think that it is worth it. You really only need the smallest amount to cover up like bags and discoloration and purple underneath your eyes. And the best part about this is that it's also a serum as well as a concealer, so it's not gonna suck the moisture out of your eyes and leave your under eye feeling dry and in a lot of pain, because I do have some other concealers that will do that. This one is not one of them. It's very thin. It's definitely good for mature skin if you are someone with mature skin. It's not going to settle into fine lines. It's a very thin consistency while covering a lot. I think that this is the best at the drugstore. I think it's the best that you're going to find there for the money that you pay for it. I do think there are more inexpensive ones that are good, but this is worth every penny. It says it is infused with tremella mushroom. I don't know what that does for you, but apparently something good. This is a concealer that I can see a lot of people like spot correcting with too. If you're not someone that wears a lot of foundation, I feel like this could be good for all over the face. It's very lightweight and it feels like you're not wearing anything. Only thing that sucks is the packaging. I wish there was a doe foot applicator, but what can you do? I'll take it. The next one that I want to talk about is another cult favorite. This is pretty old, like it's not a new product, but it's been around because it is so good. It is the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer Matte Finish. Now they do have a hydrating one. So there's 2 options. If you are a person with dry skin, definitely check out that one. This one for me is just chef's kiss. This is a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. I honestly think that this one might be better just because the way it feels on your skin, it leaves your eyes feeling a lot more hydrated rather than, again, the moisture being sucked out of the underneath of your eyes. This concealer has a very good shade range. It's not too thick and it really doesn't look cakey. It's what I'm wearing today. If anything, it'll accentuate my bags, if anything, but that's only if I pack on a lot of concealer. It's just really beautiful. This is coming in at number 2. Pretty much because of the price point. It's super inexpensive while being a fantastic concealer. If you have more mature skin, I don't know if this would be good for you. I would go more for the NYX Bare With Me. This one's a bit thicker. That's not to say that it covers more, it's just a bit thicker. There's a reason that it's been around for so long, and that's because it is a fantastic concealer. It's also a big bottle, like it's a big bottle of concealer, and the doe foot applicator is huge, which makes for application a lot easier. If you're someone who needs a bit more coverage, you might like this concealer. If you have like a bit more discoloration or purple underneath your eyes, this will be a good option. This one's very good, but sometimes you just need a thicker concealer, and this is the one. The next concealer I actually don't have. I had to get rid of because it was expired because I had it for so long, but I'll include a little picture of it right here. It is the Light Illusion Full Coverage Concealer by Flower Beauty. This is a really great concealer that I always forget that I have, but it's really good. I do wish that the packaging was a little bit better. It's a very thin applicator and a very like thin tube of concealer, but it is really good. The formula is really, really great. It's very creamy and it does feel good on the skin again, just like the other 2. That's really like the big selling point for me. Like if I can feel it on my skin, if I can feel the concealer on my skin, I'm not gonna love it. All the ones that I have mentioned, at least so far, feel like air underneath my eyes because I get very irritated right here, right at the corners of my eyes, especially during this time of year when it's like kind of cold, kind of warm. I don't know what it is yet. I start to get really dry, so I have to keep in mind of the concealer that I want to use that's not gonna irritate that. The Flower Beauty one is definitely one that feels good on the skin, that's not gonna make you look older than you actually are. This one, again, I think people with mature skin would really enjoy. It doesn't really settle into fine lines and it covers a lot, way more than it should. It's very comfortable on the skin. The shade range is pretty good. It's not great, but it's not terrible. It's a bit more on the pricier side. It's It's, I think, cheaper than the NYX concealer though. This one is a little bit harder to get your hands on. I think she only sells at like specific Ultas and Walmart, I want to say. But if you can find a concealer in your shade from Flower Beauty, definitely pick it up and check it out. This concealer is marketed as a luminous concealer, but I would not be deterred by the concealer being called that. It's definitely not one that's going to accentuate any texture or pores. I used it and I have the worst texture and pores imaginable, and if I like it, it's going to be good for you too. I promise. This concealer really helps to make you look awake. It really helps to brighten up underneath here, brighten and cover. A lot of these just cover, you know, and don't really do a lot of brightening unless you get a really light color. But this one is going to make you look like you had a full night of sleep and that you are not running on empty. Next up is a concealer that I actually just got and have just started trying and using and playing with, but I wanted to mention it because it's so good. It is the Covergirl TruBlend Undercover concealer. I got mine in the wrong shade, so I definitely have to go pick up another one, but this feels like nothing. It feels like nothing underneath your eyes. I've never had a concealer make me feel like this one does. It's not too heavy. It's not too anything. It's just so freaking good. I can't believe that it took me this long to try this out. I know that Juicy Jazz talks about this all the time, so she kind of influenced me to buy it, and I'm so happy that I did because it's like so good. Again, it's like a thick packaging and a thick applicator. I feel like this is just the norm now, and that might be why the Flower Beauty one, the packaging is weird to me because I feel like everyone has these thick applicators, and why wouldn't you? I mean, it offers so much more, like you can get so much surface area with a big doe foot applicator like this. Covergirl is a good brand for a lot of face products. You guys know that one of my favorite drugstore foundations is the Covergirl 3-in-1 with the red cap. The one thing that I will say about this is that the blending into the foundation isn't that great. Then again, this is a super light color. Like I definitely got the wrong shade, so that could be my bad. I think once I have my normal color, I can report back and give you an accurate reading on if it's blendable or not, but this is very comfortable on the skin. It's very thin, but it's very full coverage. One thing that sucks about this is that I feel like everyone knows it's a good concealer, so it's sold out. Like I went to so many different stores to find this and they all were like completely sold out. So definitely try it online. You know, Ulta online, and see if they have it. I would definitely recommend trying it out. Next up is the WetnWild Megalast Incognito Concealer. Again, these are not new. They're not new, but they're so good if you have not checked them out yet. Like if you walk past them in Ulta, definitely stop and take a look and see if you can find your shade. The shade range is trash. I will tell you right now that it's trash, which sucks, and which is why it's so low on my list here, because not everyone can find their shade, which is annoying. This concealer surprised me because I really wasn't expecting a lot out of it because it's super inexpensive. The coverage on these are really, really, really good. The blendability is really good, and again, it doesn't feel like you're wearing a lot of concealer. The one thing that sucks is the applicator. I mean, they're so small. This does nothing for me. What am I supposed to do with this? This does literally nothing for me. It's like a spatula, not even a doe foot applicator. Shade range is not good, so I have two shades. One is too light, one is too dark, which is annoying. But if you do manage to find your shade, definitely check it out. It is very full coverage, and it lasts a really long time underneath your eyes. It doesn't like bunch up or start to look like it's fading anywhere. It really does last a pretty long time. WetnWild is always kind of tricky for me because a lot of their stuff makes me break out, but this is one product that I have tried by them that hasn't given me a breakout or anything, so I will continue to pick it up until it does that for me. Like I said, formula is really good, the applicator is and the shade range is. The final concealer I want to talk to you guys about is again one that I don't have my hands on anymore. I had to throw it away because it was expired. It is the L'Oreal Infallible Concealer. This one's really it's good, but if you have deep bags like I do, I don't think you're gonna like it. It also does have a weird scent to it. However, if you are looking for a inexpensive thin concealer and you like the Infallible line, you're definitely gonna like this. The shade range is there for this concealer. I think no matter who you are, you can find a concealer that will satisfy your needs. Like I said, the only thing that sucks is that it has a weird scent to it, which I don't understand why companies do that with face products, why they put a fragrance in it. It doesn't irritate my eyes though, but I will say if you are someone that does happen to you a lot, where the fragrance will mess up your eyes and make them really watery, watch out for that. But I wanted to give it an honorable mention because it is a good concealer at the end of the day. It's a very good concealer, it's very full coverage, it's very thin, and it feels very comfortable on the skin. I'm pretty sure it's very inexpensive too, and the blendability on the concealer is like second to none. It's so good. It It's like butter. It melts right into the foundation, whatever foundation you have on. It's just an all-around good concealer, but like I said, it has a fragrance, and sometimes it can accentuate some things that you don't want accentuated. So you guys, that is my ranking of concealers from the drugstore that I have tried out. I know that there are definitely other concealers besides these that are at the drugstore that you might love. I just haven't tried them yet, so I can't speak on them. These are all ones that I have tried and know to be good and worth your money. But if you have other recommendations, I would love to know, so feel free to leave them down below. Concealers are one of my favorite parts of makeup, so I love to pick up more concealers, test them out, and let you guys know what the good, bad, and the ugly are. So if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, and make sure, if you have not already, that you are subscribed to my channel and that you hit the little bell so you are always notified when I upload a new video. Let me know if you have tried any of these concealers, what your favorite is, if you have yet to try them out, which ones you're excited to pick up. I would love to know. And I think that's it for today's video, you guys. I hope that you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in my next one.